refuse to lose. I'm built to win. Apply myself. I filled it in. No time for the doubt. They counted me out. I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss.
Pacers were going to make the playoffs. It didn't end so well for you, brother.
If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we live in different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool.
You fell asleep at the trade deadline when we had a trade to get Kyle Lowry out of here.
They told me I couldn't do it. They told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie. I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me keep on running. Toes they gonna take it.
This is what we got to tell.
Every fan doing this.
I felt it in. No time for the doubt. They counted me out. I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss. I pay for the cost. I'm winning to win. Yeah. Refuse to lose. I'm built to win. Apply myself. I filled it in. No time for the doubt. They counted me out. I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss. I'm paying the cost. I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse.
What up? What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Refuse to Lose Sports. I am your co-host, Davey Dollars, and I'm not by myself, of course. This is another Dummy Bro episode with my guy, Tomo. How you doing today, my guy?
Man, I guess the first place guy had to take the day off. They was doing too much celebrating. After that members only episode, that Browns fan came on there. Shout out to Tay and kind of got them rattled a little bit. So I'm doing good. I'm in good spirits. Ready to talk some sports with my dummy bro, and we got some good topics today, Dave. What we talking about?
Man, today we got to talk about that really good Thursday night game last night.
Got 30 points on your bench.
Man, that too. Oh my goodness. Can't believe Darnell Mooney. I apologize. I wasn't familiar with your game.
Man.
But man, I tell you this, man. I'm excited about these topics. Falcons, man, did they prove something last night? Is this a must-win Sunday for the Cowboys? Are the Niners still the best in the NFC West? We'll see. And we got another topic on top of that. But it's Friday, it's the weekend. Let's turn up.
Turn me up, 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 up.
And with that being said,
Tomo, floor is yours. Make sure that we are live on YouTube and Facebook, so make sure you like, share, subscribe. And yeah, Tomo, floor is yours.
I'm gonna say, man, shout out to Tay for being the first comment. Tay came on here and Tay showed off yesterday. That Sunday game, man, I'm mad Joe not here to talk about it, but that Sunday game gonna be very, very interesting with the Browns and the Commanders, man. Shout out Blaze, man. You definitely had a great week. Hope you had a great week too. Glad you tuned in with us. Make sure you share this with somebody. Hit that like button, hit that notification bell for all the shows. Subscribe to all the shows as well. But this guy went from, we was talking about it backstage before we started. This guy went from the Commanders. You like that? Mm-hmm. Getting money. Then he went to Minnesota, Purple Rain. Kirko Chain, well, they call him Kirko. What was it? They call him Kirko Chains up there, 6 Chains. Kirk Cousins was doing his thing. And then he come down here and they say, man, he got that swag. Y'all swag surfing. They just talking about swag surfing. And now everywhere Kirk goes, the fan base love him. I don't know how many people love them here in DC, but they love them in Minnesota. They definitely loving them down there in the dirty South. And they got him swag surfing after these primetime games. They're not supposed to win them, Dave.
I kept telling people they got to stop calling him primetime Kirk because he show up in primetime. He's won his last 3 primetime games. If you think about it, because he won that primetime game against the 49ers on Monday night last year. Then he won again on Monday night this year against the Philadelphia Eagles in Philadelphia. And then last night in Atlanta, beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on primetime.
It felt like he beat the Patriots the way they was playing, man.
Right.
36-30 win in overtime. And that play there, man, that play right there. But Kirk Cousins, he threw for 509 yards. Hit Hodges. OT game, OT Genesis, I guess, because that's what happened with this primetime situation. Dave,
This
did the
man,
Falcons prove after last night that they're true contenders in the NFC?
I will say this. As of this moment, they look like a team that I was high on. I'll say that. I was high on the team in the offseason because of Kirk Cousins, because they signed Darnell Mooney, because they got, they got something, they got weapons around Kirk Cousins. Bijan Robinson started to look good last year. He hasn't looked excellent this year, but you can still see that there's flashes of what he has. Kyle Pitts had his best game last night since his rookie season. So Drake London showing out. This team looks very, very, very good at this moment. Now, will I say, oh, wow, come on, we got the fake Dak Prescott up in here.
Hey. Let that guy speak. Nice jersey. Continue.
But man, for me, the Falcons proved to me that they are a contender in the NFC South. I can say that much right now. I do believe they're contender in that division. And we'll talk about that division a little bit later as well. But the Falcons look just as good. And of course, it helped having Matthew Judon there and Justin Simmons and Jesse Bates and AJ Terrell. So you got some really good defensive pieces back there to go along with this offense that seems to be on fire right now. Especially with, like last night, you said Kirk got 509 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 1 interception. That interception was bad. I'm not gonna lie, that was a bad interception. But 2 touchdown passes to Darnell Mooney.
And 3. It almost was 3.
Yes, it was. And then gave one to Hodges to end the game, and then he had one earlier with the Drake London. This is a really good game. I will say this though, their defense needs to play better. Because their defense was getting scored on. I mean, they did allow 30 points to get put on them. So this defense is not as formidable as it should be. But I won't say that they're a contender in NFC yet, but the NFC South, I think they are for sure a contender in NFC South.
So I'm trying to bring it up. My Wi-Fi acting real weird, so I'm gonna see. So they let's be looking at the regular season. They lost to Pittsburgh by 8. That's fresh out the gate. We're trying to figure out where we are. The Eagles, and we all know with the fourth quarter, what was that? He had a minute and like 6 seconds, and he found a way to get the ball down there, and they won the game. They lose to Kansas City in a close game. They beat. Note, this is 2 divisional wins that they got now, and they beat the Saints 26-24. And they turn around right back at home and get that swag surfing going on again, beat another divisional opponent 36-30. Now I'm trying to wrap up all these opponents and just the way that this team is finding ways to win to answer, are they true contenders? Man, this NFC, man, it went from being like top heavy with quarterbacks to saying like, we don't know now. Like,
exactly.
We don't know who's going to win it. So with me saying that, you got the Commanders at 2. You got Sam Darnold at 1. Then you got the Seahawks who just lost to the Lions. And the Lions look like, I say, they're the best team in the NFC. Then, of course, our 2 teams is figuring it out. More so y'all with injuries, because I think once everybody comes back, it's plug and play once you go there. The Eagles, they're up and down. You got the Packers doing their thing. I'm going to say, yeah, they're a contender right now. They're finding ways to win. I think the more games they find a way to win like this, the more that defense comes together, because I think it was like a 4th down, and I think the Bucs went for it. And you just seen Judon give them we gonna stop him. We gonna stop him. He put the hand up and said, I knew that was coming. We gonna stop him. And then they got to stop. I mean, I think that was the play where Bucky Irvin actually fumbled, but their defense is finding ways to make plays at the right time. And that's what you need. They say when you get in the playoffs, you need a little bit of talent, but a lot of bit of luck also. So, oh my goodness. Yes. Y'all number 2 in the conference.
Yes, 2.
Yeah.
Not 1, 2.
Yeah. Sam Darnold is number 1. And you keep talking about number 1s. But with the strong offense and then Kirk Cousins finding these weapons the way he's been finding them, I think once Bijan Robinson get a little bit healthy, I don't know what's going on there with the knee situation, but these weapons, man, Mooney, he almost dropped the game-winning touchdown, but there was another big play where he caught the touchdown that could have been an interception, but he made the play.
Oh my gosh, that was a ridiculous catch,
bruh. And then Kyle Pitts out here, man, he like, thank you. Finally, somebody throwing me the football. Drake London saying the same exact thing. This is what I was alluding to earlier when I said we were talking about it backstage. We were talking about what quarterback has done something like this. This starting to remind me a little bit of Drew Brees. Coming off the injury, not a lot of people believed in you. And now you get down in the
I think he came from the San Diego Chargers. You know, he had that arm injury, and then boom, you're right.
Yeah, and the team is they behind him. It's funny that it's in the same division too, but we gonna see, man.
Crazy.
We gonna see. Crazy. I think they are though.
Yeah. You know what, Tom? I can't disagree with you. I can't even argue that because they are definitely. I mean, I don't even remember where I had them at this point. I think I had them maybe like 4-1 or maybe 3-2 at this point in time. But they are playing really, really good right now. And I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked at where they are. I'm just shocked that Kirk Cousins threw for 509 yards last night.
That was the question. I would have said yes. I'm shocked.
That was impressive. I was not expecting that. Because I mean, we saw how he's been, he's easing his way back into being who we know Kirk Cousins to be. I guess we just wasn't expecting that to happen against the Cowboys defense. I think that's the only thing. So that was a great game. Like I said, other than the interception, Kirk Cousins played a great game last night. I do think I don't know if anyone has noticed this yet, but the one thing I took out of that game that gives me question about the Falcons is Tyler Algier, the backup running back.
Yeah. I
saw a lot of times in that game where he was not hitting the holes like he was supposed to. Like he just kept running to his defensive lineman. That wasn't the case last year. So I'm not sure what's going on with that, but it did look like he gave up a lot of yards that he would have gained last year just because he wasn't reading where to go. Like he just kept falling to somebody or just falling the wrong block. And it wasn't as many explosive plays as I'm used to seeing with Tyler Algier.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that one. And there was the kicker missing field goals, and he had another one of them blocked. It was one of those Thursday night games where it was strange because it was actually things happening in the game that made you be like, what's going on here versus the game just being boring.
Exactly. And the fact that the game ended 36-30 was crazy. I don't think anyone was expecting that to be that high of a score game.
Nah, and Kirk again getting the ball back and bringing them downfield to get the game time field goal. Also, Dave, look at this. They got the Panthers up next. So they riding another.
I guarantee you that Darnell Mooney will be starting on my team that week.
Look. Well, they got them, then they got Seattle, then they got Tampa Bay. Those are their next 3 games. So they on a run with division. If they can almost lock the division up in the next 3 games.
That's facts. I think they can easily be 6-2 with those 3 games. I think they can win all 3 of those games.
That's where it's gonna get ugly.
Yeah, I don't. But the thing is, I don't think Tampa Bay gets swept. I'll be shocked if Tampa Bay gets swept by the Falcons.
Nah, we got my boy watching what's the name motivational videos with Mike Tyson. They got Baker watching motivational videos of Mike Tyson before the game. I don't think he's losing the next one. He's not playing no games. He was like he was locked in. But this division here, I mean, we spent a lot of time talking about how good the Falcons are, but it looked like the South is trying to make a bounce back. This went from being the joke of the NFC as far as divisions to the South got something to say. Is the NFC South the most competitive division in the NFC? This is how I know a Commander fan came up with this question. I ain't about to go that far with that one, man. Like if we go through, like let's see what we got here. We got the NFC East. We got Commanders 3-1, Cowboys 2-2, Philadelphia 2-2, and the Giants 1-3. We go to the NFC North, Vikings 4-0, Lions 3-1, Green Bay 2-2, Bears 2-2. Of course, we already know the NFC South. We got Falcons and Bucks both 3-2, Saints 2-2, Panthers 1-3. Wow, the Giants and the Panthers trying to see who's gonna get Shador. The NFC West. We got Seattle 3-1. We got the 49ers 2-2, and Cardinals and Rams both 1-3. And I would say most competitive division.
Well, I think we know which one is the least competitive. I think that was
y'all.
Yeah.
Going off of records, I'm gonna say y'all. Competition. I'm gonna still go with the North on this one. I'm still going with the North. And the only reason I say the North is because we already know what Minnesota is doing. They're riding a wave right now, but they could easily go 6-0 at some point. We know what the Lions are capable of as a team. They're 3-1, but they're on a bye week, and then their next opponent is the Cowboys. So if you look at the Cowboys, because that's what's going to be after we got to play the Lions, but they going to run the ball, so we'll see what happens there. Green Bay, they getting Jordan Love back, and we seen what he did. He walked in with the Brett Favre jersey and had 56 attempts in a game. And if the Bears figure it out with their rookie quarterback, they all could be battling for a position here. It just so happened that the Vikings got a quick start. I know the South has been balling, but it's the Panthers that's holding them down. Now, if all four teams were actually, I can't say actually because now that they switch quarterbacks, the Panthers might have more chances. But I'm still going with the NFC North.
For me, this was not easy. This is not easy. I was thinking about so when you look at the NFC South, the one team holding them back is, of course, the Panthers. If you look at the NFC East, the one team holding them back is the Giants. For me, I just look at which of the two is worse. Is the Giants the worst team or the Panthers the worst team?
That might be close.
I think, me personally, I think that the Giants are the worst of the two.
What?
Here's why.
I gotta hear this.
Here's why. Now, the Panthers just made a switch at quarterback with Andy Dalton. And his first game, they put up 34 points and won that game.
Okay.
Second game, it was very competitive. They ended up losing, but they were very competitive. Now, that's due to a quarterback switch. If you look at the Giants, who Danny Downs has already been there, he has not gone anywhere. Run game is not what it really used to be because, of course, Saquon is no longer there. He's in Philadelphia. You look at the receivers. Malik Neighbors is balling, but you got no one else, honestly, that's really having a great time other than Malik Neighbors. And Daniel Jones is not exactly pretty good, although he did make some good throws against the Cowboys, but I mean, it's a divisional game, so it's possible that could happen at any time, even though the Cowboys are known for blowing them out.
That's true.
The Panthers, I don't know. They just seem to be more of a team that seems that to me, it just seems like they're a team that can recover a little bit more than the Giants can because it's just so much going on with the Giants. You got the Saquon thing over your head. You know, he's balling out in Philadelphia, and you're going to have to play him twice a year, as long as at least for the next 4 years. You're going to have to play him twice a year.
That's the truth.
Then you got Daniel Jones. You got the questions about him. You got all of this going on. Then you look at what the GM said about Saquon in the offseason. So you got that going too. Now, Panthers got their own controversy too. You know, benching Bryce Young after the first 2 games in the season after you said that you weren't going to bench him. So even though I think the Panthers are maybe a tad better than the Giants, I still think that the NFC East is the best, is the most competitive one, because you got 3 teams in the NFC East that can easily go to the playoffs. If you look at what's going on right now, all 3 teams can get in there. The Eagles, all they need is AJ Brown and Devontae Smith to come back. I think they're going to be fine. You guys, I mean, you got CD, you got Dak. You need a run game. Don't get me wrong. You still need a run game.
Bad.
And the defense has been questionable a few times. So you still got some of that. But that, of course, one of your cornerbacks is out. Deron Bland is out for at least 6 to 8 weeks. And now Micah is down. So Micah won't be playing on Sunday. So you got a couple of injuries here and there, but I think you guys can recover once those guys get better. And then you look at the Commanders, the team that's surprising everybody in the NFC East. This offense looks prolific. I mean, Jaden Daniels had the best 4 games stretch of any quarterback in NFL history. As far as completion percentage. So you got him doing that. And then you got the defense that actually looked pretty much okay against a team that put up 40 points against the Rams just a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
And that's a divisional game. So divisional games aren't always easy for you to be able to put up those kind of points on them. The 49ers is a team that averaged 30 points this season last year, and the Rams only allowed them to put up 24. So it's, sometimes those scoring go downs when it comes to divisional opponents. And the Cardinals put a 40 on them, but they couldn't do that against the Commanders. So I think the NFC East is the most competitive one in the NFC right now. But I do think the South will have something to say about that. If these teams keep playing this way with the Buccaneers, the Saints, and the Falcons. But the thing is, I think the one thing about this division is that the Saints could be either or. It all depends on what Derek Carr's going to do. That's the biggest thing about them. How is he going to play? Is he going to be those two? Is he going to be that quarterback that put up 40 plus points in the first 2 weeks in the NFL?
Mm-hmm.
Or is he going to be what we've seen lately? When you pressure him, he pretty much shuts down. So I'm gonna say the NFC East right now, but I don't have much pushback on the NFC North either, because the Lions are still really good. The Vikings are catching everybody by surprise. One of only 2 undefeated teams in the NFL. No one thought that was going to happen at this point.
With that quarterback, no way.
No. And then, you got the Packers is right there, and they're 2-2 with Jordan Love, who's back. So you never know. But right now, I'm still gonna give it to the NFC East.
You wanna know what's funny? What you said about the NFC East and the NFC South, and we can move on after this. The Cowboys and the Saints are kind of in the same boat, even though the Saints boat race the Cowboys. It's you don't know what you're gonna get from either one of these teams, and it's not. What you said about Derek Carr, I'm not going to go with the quarterback. I'm going to say that's more so the defense. You don't know what type of game you're going to get from the Cowboys defense. So in this instance, the Cowboys defense is that Derek Carr. And now you got your 2 pass rushers out. So now it's time for more people to step up. So you really don't know what you're going to get with this team. So I'm not mad at you throwing the South out there, because if Carr has a great year, I think these 3 teams can make the playoffs, because we've seen what Baker's doing down there, and we see what I was about to say Flacco because of the Falcons. You see what Kirk O'Chains is doing, man. So we'll see how it all plays out. But all I know is Jordan Love got to ice up, son.
Ice up, son.
Man. Now, I think this is a heavy NFC conference day we got going on here. We was down south for a while. You brought us back up east with your selection. Now we about to go out west.
To the west.
Now we got to talk about the Wild Wild Best. The Wild Wild Best. I mean, should the 49ers still be the favorites to win the NFC West? And Dave, you are one of the true fans of any team that you have. You going to call it like you see it? You're going to troll a little bit when it's time to troll, but when it's time for you to pull, when it's time for you to be like, hey, man, hold people accountable, you're going to do that. So this question, I can't wait to hear the answer from
you. This may shock you. This just might shock you. Seeing as though how everything is gone for the 49ers this season, pretty much losing Christian McCaffrey for half of the season. Let's be frank about it. We more than likely won't see him until maybe December. If that, I don't know. Losing Debo for a game, losing Trent for a game, losing Kittle in between games. Fred Warner, don't know if he's going to play Sunday. Tyler Loefungen played the game before, but didn't play last week. Drake Greenlaw still hasn't played yet. So there's a lot of injuries that's happening. Javon Hargrave is out for the rest of the year. It's just this has been an injury-riddled team. It's been an injury-riddled division, honestly, because you look at the Rams, they're probably more depleted than we are. But if I had to choose a team to win the NFC West, I'm still going with the 49ers. I'm still going with the 49ers because just like how I could talk about all those injuries, all those guys are coming back. And true. Even if Christian McCaffrey does not come back, we have seen what Jordan Mason can do behind this offense. We didn't miss a beat running the ball with Jordan Mason. And
y'all can find a running back, man.
And then Dominic Puny, the guard I talk about a lot out of Kansas, has been phenomenal in his rookie season. And he wasn't a high draft pick. I believe we drafted him in the 3rd round, and he has been playing lights out. He made Colt McKivitz look like a better tackle when he is really not that good. He was there to help out with Trent Williams being out. Then you got other questions like, is Brandon Ayuk going to, finally have a game? Is Debo going to stay healthy? Debo was the one that was in the training camp all offseason. He didn't miss one. He ain't missed one practice, one training camp, nothing. He was there. Then I like the young guys that we got, like Malik Mustafa out of Wake Forest. I like what he's doing. He's a striker. There was a play against the Patriots when Fred Warner got the interception for the pick 6. He ran down and just ran over the offensive lineman. And if you look at the size difference, it was ridiculous. Like the offensive lineman should not have gotten manhandled like that. But Malik Mustafa basically does what Kyle Juszczyk does on the offense. Kyle Juszczyk goes and blocks anybody and knocks him out. Malik Mustafa did that after Fred Warner got the pick 6. So I like what he's doing. I think that the slot corner may change, or we may put Deombano Lenoir in the slot and put Ronaldo Green on the outside because he's a better outside corner and a man corner. He's also a rookie out of Florida State. So I like what we're capable of. I think what I need to see, though, is I need to see us play defense for all 4 quarters. Because the 4th quarter, we seem to just disappear for some reason. The offense has gotten better the last few weeks, though. Even though we lost against the Rams, we did put up 24 points in that game, but we lost eventually. And then we put up 30 points last year, which is last week, which is what we're used to. So our offense just have to continue to find our footing. BA is starting to make better plays. If you go week by week, he's actually getting better. He actually has the 2nd best separation in the league since, the first 2 weeks. So he's getting more separation. He just needs to be found a little bit more. So that comes with the offense being able to protect Purdy a little bit more. And I think we're going to be fine. I know I've been pretty crazy because all these injuries are going on, but I think we still have a chance to win. Because do you really believe that the Seahawks are going to be what they are? A lot of people kind of question that, honestly, even though this offense did look really good against the Detroit Lions. So we don't know. The Rams are depleted, like you said. Both of their wide receivers are out. Puka and Cooper Kupp are out. They got injuries on the offensive line, injuries on the defense. They're injured pretty much everywhere. So I think we should be. I still think that we are the teams to beat in the NFC West until proven otherwise.
When I read the question, it said, should the 49ers still be the favorites to win the NFC West? I was like, what told you different? Like, who gave you signs of it being any different? Again, I mean, I know it do. Y'all sidelines sometimes do look like a trauma unit because a lot of people are going down, but that's because of the physical nature in which y'all practice. I mean, who was it? I think it was the lineman that came from the Eagles. I forgot his name. Yeah, I got one of their line. Was it Hargrave? I think it's Hargrave.
Yeah, John Hargrave.
Yep. He was doing a podcast and he was like, the way we practice in Philadelphia versus the way we practice over here with the 49ers, you understand why they got that physicality mantra about them when they walk out on the field. It's the way they practice. It's like rarely any days off. So you got that situation. And I sent a clip to the NFL chat. Again, click the link or comment member if you want to become a member to join our IG chats. And it was about DK Metcalf. And the dude was basically like, man, it was a funny video, but he was basically calling DK Metcalf a tight end. I was like, oh, wow. Well, would you look here? He's like, he blocked better than he catch. So his up and down waves of him just being good is what is really, I think, is holding the Seahawks back as far as them being a prolific offense. They got the running back. They got Geno playing above average for his standards. They got Tyler Lockett who can still take the top off of a defense. They still got a defense who can actually put pressure on you because, I mean, granted, my man Jared Goff did go 18 for 18, but it was still it was almost a close game if Geno didn't throw one interception, and that interception came because he was getting pressured. So outside of that, I see you all really finding a way to it's really BA. I think if once BA really gets back in stride, and I hate the fact that I know the week that he's going to get back in stride, but once he gets back in stride, that'll help because now Purdy knows Jawan Jennings can go off. He already trusts BA. He was like, you just wasn't here for training camp, so we'll get our chemistry back. Debo's there. We know Debo is going to be either full-time, he's going to be in the backfield, he's going to be lined up as a tight end, he's going to be lined up as a slot. We don't know what Debo going to be at, but just know Debo going to be out there. I think another thing that isn't helping is CMC being out because now that's taking anything away from, what's his name, Madison?
Jordan
Madison, Mason. Right? Mason. Not taking anything away from Mason, but teams are like, let's see if you can do what he can do. Because we know when he back there, we need to stack the box. So what we're going to do is we're going to see if you can do that, but we're going to play some coverage. So that's also why BA probably was having some rough games too, because it's like, well, we keep trying to tackle him. That other guy, it's going to be a long day.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. They also cover BA a little bit more now. Now, I want to hear anyone else saying that he's not being double teamed. He's being double teamed. He's being triple, and the best corner is normally on him most of the time. So let's stop that now, please.
So now he's definitely earning his money. That's all I'm gonna say. So with that being said, I still think you all are the favorites for right now. Until something else shows me that you can't be, or maybe a team just literally takes this division away from you all. Let's say the Seahawks go on a run, but other than that, I still think you all are the favorites. It's not like they got a 2-game lead. You're still there.
Yep, it's just a 1-game lead, and then we have a divisional game this Sunday against the Cardinals. I forgot who they play, but they have a game as well. And then Thursday, we play each other. So
wow. Okay, I think that's what Thursday nights was trying to do. I see what they're trying to do, but they got to understand that it's a divisional game, and they're coming off of a Sunday. Like it's not gonna be as competitive because a lot of people, the teams know each other. So it might be a field goal fest. Like you never know what you're gonna get. You ain't gonna get that. You ain't gonna get Falcons Bucks every Thursday.
That's true. Or you might get a blowout like we've done to the Seahawks before. You never know. Don't know.
Now that'd be good for the psyche.
Definitely would. Definitely would.
Now we're gonna roll right on over to one of the we talking about historic franchises. We went from the 49ers. Now we got to talk about two others. We call them, I say it's America's teams. And that's because a lot of people say you think about Pittsburgh, you think about the blue collar workers, you think about the real labor of America. Like, people getting dirty, fixing things, manufacturing, with their hands, and then you got the glitz, the glamour side with the Cowboys. So these two teams can actually represent the American dream. You work hard for what you want. And once you get it, you can go off into Beverly Hills and spend some of that money. And then you can have a helicopter land while your team is practicing. And you don't jump out and give your teammates, your players nothing to celebrate. It's just you. It's like, all right, keep coming out here with the same cake. It's cool. I don't want cake no more. I'm tired of cake for my birthday. All right. And ladies, for Valentine's Day, cake is not a gift. That's all I'm gonna say. Y'all can run with that what you want, all right? You can go which way, whatever you want with that one. This is a family show, so I had to come up with an analogy for it. But the question is this a must-win for the Dallas Cowboys? And me being a fan, seeing the way these two teams are going, you got one team, they got a young quarterback who's finding his confidence with every game he plays. He still got the Russell Wilson. Is he going to start on his back? So he got to find ways to continuously play so he can stay as a starter. I still don't think it's a must-win for them. They're 3-1. You know, I mean, technically, if you want to talk about division-wise, Vaughn told us on the members-only episode, the Ravens is coming. But outside of that, do you think that franchise is going to fall apart if they lose this game? I don't. Meanwhile, we going all in. We had 40 points put up on us in a playoff game. Jordan Love got a contract because of that playoff game. It's about the second or third Green Bay Packer quarterback I done seen get paid after he done whooped up on the Cowboys.
Yep. Aaron Rodgers and Matt Flynn and the other two.
The Matt Flynn one was the one that hurt the most because he was terrible after that. Like, that's how Russell Wilson started because of him. But anyway, Cowboys are 2-2. The next few games they got the Lions, they got a bye week, they got the Niners, they got the Falcons, and then they got Philly. You go out there and you lose this game, you could potentially lose again to the Lions. Now that would make you 2-4. You go on a bye week. Now let's say everybody in the NFC East want to win that weekend. Now you lost again. So mentally you're still like 2-5, but it isn't there yet. You come off the bye, play the Niners. If you get smoked by the Lions going to bye and then got to come and play the Niners, you already know the mental advantage that they have on this team. So as a fan base, it's going to be like, I guess we 2-6. Now you're talking about being 2-6 in a division where the Commanders are winning games. The Eagles could start winning games. Now you're down there with the Giants. And who knows, when Malik Neighbors comes back from his concussion protocol, they could find something. They could find lightning in a bottle. And now you will be fourth in the division. So I say all that to say this. You end up being 2-6, playing the Falcons. You end up losing to the Falcons. You might as well just blow it up. Like, there's no point in even having a season because there's no coming back at this point. 2-7, play the Eagles, and you possibly could win against the Eagles because you got Dak back there. But outside of that, say all that to say this. Hell yeah, it's a must-win game. This is a must-win game. You have to do it. I know you don't have the weapons on the defensive side, but hey, the defense wasn't playing as good as it was last year anyway. So you still got to find a way to win it. The Cowboys go out there and win this game. It could be the same thing I said for you, Dave, if y'all blow out the Seahawks. It could be that mental psyche advantage that you need to be like, all right, we can go back home and we could probably beat the Lions. And we'll see what happens with Detroit. But let's just go out there and get this win now. Because now you got a lot of players that's filling in roles and stepping up for other players that's been hurt and for free agents that Jerry Jones didn't go sign. So now, Jerry, you get to go out there and see what all these players that you said, or these guys that you believe in, are they worth it? Because they're going to have to prove it. They're going to have to. I'm not saying these Steelers are world beaters. I'm not saying they're the scariest team in the world. But at the end of the day, they're dealing with injuries too. But I like their defense a little bit more than mine right about now. So it's definitely a must win.
Yeah, we are definitely in agreement on this one. Not even because of what's been going on with the Cowboys. Well, it is, but not as far as the season. This more as a totality when it comes to the Cowboys. What are y'all doing for, Tomo? Beating up on bad teams.
We the bad team now.
And not being able to be good teams. So that's why a lot of people are in question, like, are the Browns a good team or are they a bad team? Because they lost to you guys. And
it's crazy.
It is.
We the level to say if they're a bad team on that. That's insane.
It is. Because if you look at it after that win, that was like everybody's like, oh, okay, the Cowboys might actually be, they might be something. And then they're going to drop one to the Saints. You're like, all right, the same old Cowboys. So for me, it's definitely a must win because it's against a team that's number one in the division, a team that was, a team that hasn't not had a winning record since Mike Tomlin has been there. So it's been a team that's had some kind of success. It might not be the success that they want because they haven't won a playoff game since 2016, but it doesn't matter because they don't go under 500. So this is a team that's competitive almost every single week. I mean, can you really name the last time the Steelers got blown out by somebody?
Off the top of the dome, nah. But you can damn sure name about 8 times. Man, that's probably because I'm a fan. But you can name about 8 times.
I know you can. I know you can. I know you can. I know you can. I mean, I can name one because I seen one that happened last year when they lost 30-7 to us. So I remember that. But other than that, this defense has always been good enough, especially this season. This defense has really proven that they can really do what needs to be done and play steel curtain football. Now, it's not exactly steel curtain football because it's not, it's not those defenses that had Larry Foote and James Harrison and those guys. And Joey Porter, they had Troy Polamalu, they had guys like Ryan Clark. This is not that exact defense, but you see glimpses of it. You see glimpses of the terrible towels when it comes to this, team. So to me, it's definitely a must win because it now shows that that the Cowboys can be a good team and that Dak can beat a good defense. That's another thing. Because Dak does seem to struggle against good defenses. We've seen it happen before. We've seen it happen with the Eagles before, even though that's the division rival. So you see him, he can win it, but he's also lost them too. You've seen it with the 49ers. I haven't seen them have a good game against the 49ers in a while. The Saints, another defense that he has issues with almost all the time. So you see that he struggles against good defenses. So you want to see him be able to play well and not even play well, but to win against a good defense. So this is for sure a must win for the Cowboys.
And another thing to add to 2 points. One, last season was the 1 year where you could say they got blown out twice. They lost to the Texans 30-6. I had to go look at their schedule. So once you said that, I was like, let me go look back and see. Because other than that, they have been in most of their games, though.
There you go.
I think it's because it's regular season. The Cowboys be getting beat in the playoffs, and that's when everybody watching. So it makes sense. It makes sense. Everybody can be like, no, you remember the Rams? And it's like, all right, bro. All right. Sheesh. But another thing to add to the Dax situation, they said it on, I think it was on First Take, and they were talking about, of course, they always want to bring up the money when they talking about quarterbacks, right? But they don't bring it up when they talk about Trevor Lawrence. That's another story for another day.
Say it again.
It's in this moment. They bring up money when they talk about quarterbacks, but don't bring it up when they talk about Trevor Lawrence. I had to say it again. But
there you go.
It's in this moment where I don't care about you being a $60 million quarterback. I've seen moments where Tony Romo knew he didn't have the best defense. He knew this defense wasn't going to get him a stop, so he knew that going into this game, we're going to have to outscore our opponent. I may throw some interceptions, but at the end of the day, we're going to have to outscore our opponent. This is the moment where I want to see if Dak is going to be like, all right, you can put the team on your back and actually go out there and have to go win this game. Like he said earlier in an interview that he knows that he don't have to be Superman every time he breaks the huddle. Well, you're going to have to be Iron Man or Batman this weekend because you're definitely going to have to. Because normally when you break the huddle, I can understand you saying, like, I trust my guys to do their job. But you got to know that on the other side of the football, they need your help just as much as the offense do this weekend. Because Micah ain't over there. D-Law ain't over there. Like, Trayvon basically by himself. And he's still coming off an ACL injury. So, like, bruh, y'all going to have to do y'all part. So this game right here, it's just a must win, not only for the record, but also for that quarterback. Because I'm going to have a lot to say.
And for the confidence for this team, too.
Yeah.
Because confidence is key a lot. It's very, especially for this team. It is very important that they find a way to win this game.
Yes. Then you can go on a run after that. You can go on a nice little run after that. You can beat the Lions, have a good time on the bye, and then we deal with them guys over there when it's time to deal with them guys. We ain't gonna talk about them names right now. But y'all know who I'm talking about.
You put it in Jamar Chase?
Yeah, I don't want to say that name right now. I ain't gonna say that. I'm gonna say Dallas Cowboys. Bro. Could have just said Pat Mahomes, bro. The Bengals ain't paying you. Just say Pat Mahomes.
Oh, he could have said 15. He ain't even got to say his name. He could just say his name 15. You know,
I would have said one of the guys. He was on Madden before.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess. But man, with that being said, man, let's get to these last words.
Man, another entertaining show, another great show. Definitely glad I was able to talk about some things. San Francisco, man. I'm not even going. This is not even mention San Francisco. Teams, you got a star player out there who wants to win. There are teams that are in place to win that could use a wide receiver. Devontae Adams is out there. Who's going to pull the trigger? I know we hear about the Jets. I know we hear about the Niners. I don't believe that we make that trade. I'll be happy, but I'll be shocked. You got the Cowboys. Now, Cowboys said that they're not interested. Who knows? That may change. Ravens, now, they need a wide receiver, of course, to go alongside Zay Flowers. But, there's nothing there right now. All I'm really hearing for real are the Jets and I forgot who else it was.
The Saints too.
And the Saints. I mean, and the Saints for a good reason because that's where Derek Carr is, and he gets to play alongside Rashid Shaheed and Chris Olave and Alvin Kamara. But it all depends on what's given up for him too, because you may have to give up a wide receiver. You may have to give up a first or second round draft pick just to get Devontae Adams. People like to talk about the contract, but I'm not going to talk about that. I'm just talking about the guy. He's worth it. Devontae Adams is still a star wide receiver in this league. For those teams that want to compete and want to win, do what you can to go get them.
Yeah, and I want to piggyback off of what you were saying because that was one of the things I was going to address in my last words too. Is that what's up with Oak? I ain't even gonna say Oakland. What's up with the name Raiders? That this is another wide receiver that they went and got who's talented, who's been talked about as being in the top 10 or top 15. Hell, let's go top 5, and he don't want to play there. Like the whole switch again. If you go back and watch wide receiver or receiver on Netflix, you can see like at some point in the season he was upset and then it switched. He was happy again. So what happened in between the off season and now to make him be like, you know what? I really just want to leave. I really believe Antonio Pierce got his job because they were like, Devontae is happy now. So let's just do that. Is it because you all can't keep a quarterback? Like you have to look into some of these things because you can't keep losing talent like this. So imagine if Max Crosby just wake up and say, you know what? He gone, I want out too. Now you got a revolt on your hands. Like, what you going to do with that? And granted, I know you want to put the asking price super high so teams can't actually go out there and get them, but I'm sorry. If I'm one of them teams, like, I ain't going to say it, but if I'm the Panthers, I might just make the move. Just because I can be like, look, I know you don't want to come here, but I got some promise. We might get a quarterback and we'll be right back at it. If I hate to say it again, but if I'm the Commanders, I'm making the call.
Yes, that's a call.
I feel like we there.
I agree. Mm-hmm.
Like this teams is like, I feel like we there and we got the young quarterback. I'm making the call. Like if the Patriots would have made a decision on Drake May, I'm making the call.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not calling Dallas because they're gonna waste my time. But everybody else, I'm making the call.
Yeah, and I think if you think about other teams that are kind of like right there now, you look at the Steelers and Justin Fields and George Pickens. I think what causes caution for that is Devontae Adams is going to want the ball often. And he said that. He said that on receiver. He said it himself. Yeah, I want to be able to impact the game. I want to have my catches because I want to make sure. That's how for him is like that's his solidifying as him as being helping the team win is him being involved in the game. And I get that. You want to be involved as much as possible. And you are right, Tomo. It's because they don't have a quarterback. It's that simple. Okay. They don't have a quarterback. Yeah, you got Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew. You were better off going to go get Joe Flacco or get Josh Dobbs. That's the backup for the 49ers. You're better off getting one of those two guys. At least you've seen them both come in and make contributions and win some games. Gardner Minshew has done that as well. But,
how about you trade up and go get a quarterback?
Trade up and go get Michael Penix. That's what you should have did.
Go get a quarterback. Like, go get a quarterback. Like, I'm sorry. I know with the Giants GM, he kind of was in. I know we killed him for it, but that was more so for Saquon. But if you believe in Daniel Jones, then you got to go get him a wide receiver. If you believe in Devontae Adams, you got to go get him a quarterback. Like,
exactly.
I'd rather him be upset and go through growing pains with a rookie quarterback than to have, well, basically Aiden is somewhat, but they don't know if they want to start him or not. So it's like, bro, who's my quarterback? So I'm with you on that, Dave.
Yeah.
Nah, that was we done turned our last words into a whole nother topic.
Facts. I was just about to say that.
But before we get out of here, let me shout out our superstar members right quick. And you can become a member too if you click the link below. You know, we got 3 tiers: All-Star, Superstar, Pro. And you make sure once you click the link, it'll give you all the breakdown. Make sure you stick around after the show. It gives you another breakdown of all the perks that you get with it. But one of the perks we always want to talk about is the member-only videos. We're ramping up the content there. You got to be an All-Star member and above. And the chats. You want to be a part of any of our Instagram chats, you got to be a member. And you get to come on the show. That's another one too. Like, you don't have to be a member to come on the show, but you get to come on the show. Like, the door is open. So shout out to our superstar members. Shout out to Worm, Joe, Dave, myself, Teddy, Cardo, Coach, Vaughn, Lamar, and Giovanni. Thank you, brothers, for being members for as long as you are. Shout out to our All-Star and Pro members also. I'll get the list and give y'all a shout out personally, but thank everybody that's a member and keeping this thing going.
And shout out to Lambo and Low on the intro. We appreciate you for the music video. Shout out A. Han on the design. We appreciate y'all, man. We will see y'all on Monday. Have a great weekend. College football's tomorrow, football Sunday, and WNBA playoffs, baseball playoffs. Trust me, you got a lot of sports to watch this weekend. So enjoy yourself, have fun, and be safe. And we'll see y'all Monday. Peace.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.